All right, this is a new angle. I'm testing it. I'm trying my best to do this, but stay safe. So I know it might be weird that I'm not making eye contact with the camera today, but it is what it is. I spend a lot of my day driving, so I might as well make the most of it and talk to myself. I'm actually talking to you, but it's talking to myself. The big thing on my mind right now is for helping athletes and specifically parents kind of navigate the waters and differentiate between winning and development. Now, both go hand in hand and they're not mutually exclusive things all the time. Obviously, we play sports, we want to win. It's nice to win. However, we need to develop as athletes and human beings. A really good example from this is these super teams that are popping up. Now, I know in Ontario, if you listen to the podcast, Ontario has gone full open borders. In the United States, you can go kind of wherever, although depending on your state, you have roster limits. For us in Michigan, we're allowed 2 out-of-state players that can be international or somewhere a different state. When parents and athletes are looking for a new team or an organization to either move to or stay with, you'd be surprised how often I get, what is their my hockey rankings? And well, this team won this many games last year and this. So I'm going to try to break it down the way that I explain it to every single athlete and every single parent. The most important deciding factor in whether you are looking to A, develop or B, win is age. Now, if you're in minor hockey, for the most part, you should always be trying to develop. However, there is a very big difference in the development curve of someone who is 10, 11, 12, 13, and someone who is playing U18. If you're playing U18, chances are you probably need more development because you're at an age where you could be playing junior. So either if you didn't try out or you did try out and were released from junior teams, that means, hey, we're not there yet. It's all right. Let's put in some work. Let's do the things we need to do to get us to junior. At a young age, we need to look at all the aspects that come into development. We are looking for, obviously, games, practice, skills sessions, experts that are around you. Are you around people that, one, know what they're doing and are good at what they do? This is probably the biggest one that goes under the radar, is compassion and dedication. Is the organization, like, do they go above and beyond for all of their athletes? Not just their superstars, but every single athlete. Are they spending the extra time, the extra hours? Are they connecting you with different skills coaches, different people that are going to get you better? Like, is the organization doing that? And you'll find a lot of organizations really kind of take a step back and they kind of just, this is the organization, whatever. We have some people here, use them. If you don't want to, whatever. I'm fortunate enough that I'm a crazy person where I make sure that all my athletes are taken care of, even if it means not going somewhere that isn't me, or, I don't do player skills, even though I have done in the past. It's not my primary objective, so there's guys like Andrew DeBrincat who I send people to because he's really good at what he does. Shameless plug to Fox, the owners do an excellent job of trying to surround the organization with the best people and the best resources, and each year there's always something new that they add. When I look at different organizations that I see from afar, and even when I played, really everything was up to our own devices, and that can be good and that also can be bad, but it really just shows how much effort a program is willing to put in. I think that goes a long way, and that's kind of that hidden behind the scene thing that people don't really think of or appreciate until it's over. The last big thing when it comes between development and winning is oftentimes super teams, the teams that just win all the time and very rarely lose, are very rarely challenged. And we as human beings, but specifically as athletes, need to be challenged to grow. It's just like in the gym. If you just go into the gym and you squat 135 every single day for your entire life, you're gonna get really good at squatting 135. You're just never gonna get stronger. You might get a little better, but you're never going to progress. You need to progress and have progressive overload. You need to be challenged. You need to have opportunities to play teams that are better than you, where if you're a goalie, you're giving up 40, 50 shots a night, and you have to be able to stand in there and learn how to battle. If you're a player, you need to be able to be challenged by bigger bodies, one-on-one net front battles. You can't just skate through everyone. because there will be a time in your career when you are going to be challenged, because it gets better. As you get older, the skill level goes up, and as you progress, the skill level progresses. And if you've never been challenged, one, you're not going to be as good as you can be, but two, you'll also never develop that mental capacity to handle adversity, which is one of my next points, is understanding the ability to handle adversity. There are superstars out there, the McDavids, the Crosby, who their adversity has come later in life. But as someone who has been in high-level hockey for many years, this is my job, this is what I do. I'm on the ice every day, and I'm in the treatment room every day or in the gym every day with athletes. The ones that have had adversity and understand how to deal with it are the ones that move on. The athletes that make it to the final goal, the colleges, the pros, one, they are skilled, yes, but they're also those that have faced an uphill battle, were able to find their way through it, and then we're able to continue pushing forward until the next battle, to the next battle, to the next battle. The people that fall off maybe had equal skill level for a lot of them, but they fell off because they weren't able to overcome whatever that adversity is, or distractions, like distractions as in, girls or boys or drugs, alcohol, like all these things that kind of pull away and pull you in different directions. Those are all part of the distractions, the adversity kind of Venn diagram that we create in terms of coming up with a high-level athlete. So if you never face adversity and you aren't getting challenged constantly on a day-to-day basis, then it's really difficult for you to reach that highest potential, because maybe you play on a super team your entire minor hockey career. I'm going to use a goalie, for example, because I'm a goalie guy, and you average maybe 17 shots a game. And let's just say you still have unbelievable goalie training, you have all things equal, height, athleticism, and you put that up against a goalie who maybe was on a mid-pack team and was getting 35, 40 shots a game. They theoretically are getting double or triple the amount of exposure to development than you are. And so you are missing out. Same thing for a player. Like if you are playing with a mid-pack team and you're on the first line and you're dominant, blah, 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 and each night you're challenged because maybe your teammates aren't at that superstar level, so you have to problem solve and make plays and think about the game. Then you go to a superhouse team. Then you go to a powerhouse team, and maybe you're on the third or fourth line, and players make decisions for you and you kind of coast on the radar. But now you're just kind of getting lost in the shuffle, and it's too easy. You skate around everyone, you just make passes, you don't have to problem solve. It's cool to get to win 18-0 every night. It's not cool when you step into junior and all of a sudden you're like, oh crap, like I don't know how to handle this. I haven't challenged a certain amount of years, etc., etc. Now this might seem a little hyperbolic, but it really isn't, and we see this all the time with tons of athletes. So what is the sweet spot? The sweet spot is you're honestly looking for a mid-pack team. You don't really want to be on the super team that just dominates everyone every night. Yeah, you can practice against with and against high-level players, but practice is practice. There's a huge time for it, but you also need that application that you get games. You also don't want to be on like a horrible team. It's just not super fun. There's actually nothing wrong, in my opinion, to be on a horrible team for the first few years of your career, because you just get challenged, especially if you're a good player. However, you do need to be surrounded by other high-level players. One, it sets a standard, and also, if your teammates can't catch a pass, it isn't fun. I get that. So finding that sweet spot and being in the middle tier. So let's just say a number out of 10, 10 being superpower team, 1 being the worst team. If you can hover around a 5, 6, 7, or even a 4 to 7, like that is the kind of team you want to be on. One where you're being challenged internally, like at practice and things, and there's a standard of excellence. But low enough that if you're a goalie, you have to steal games, or if you're a player, you have to show up night in, night out, or else your team will lose unless you play well. Try not to get lost in the sauce here. We all, especially kids, Kids see winning, 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 going all these things, being on social media, all the hype around it. As a parent, you have control to allow your child to make decisions or not make decisions. But again, as a parent, especially one who maybe hasn't been involved in athletics before, winning definitely is not the sole focus. Development is. Even when you get to junior's kind of when that winning takes a little bit more importance, mainly because if you don't win, you aren't performing well, then you're going to get traded or released. Doesn't happen as much in minor hockey, at least it shouldn't happen. It does, but it shouldn't happen. And then once you step in past minor hockey, you can put more emphasis on winning. At that point, it is in the organization's benefit to continue to develop you as an athlete because you get better and they win more and it comes full circle. Minor hockey organizations, they do, and they know that's the job again, but a lot of minor hockey organizations, people aren't getting paid. And if they are getting paid, they're not getting paid a lot of money and it's not their sole job and their sole source of income. So there's other distractions there. I appreciate you guys for watching. I'm probably gonna have to call this backseat driver road trip talks or something along that line. Just, I gotta think of a way to say it, when you're a kid and your dad or mom's yelling at you for all the goals you gave up. I gotta find a way to put that in there, but I appreciate you for watching. Again, it's part of that series where I'm just trying to help hockey players make better decisions, become better athletes, become better hockey players. If you want 30 ways in 30 days to become a better hockey player, sign up to the email list down below. It's free. Worst thing, if you absolutely hate the emails, you think they're garbage, you can just unsubscribe and I'll never know. It hurt my feelings a lot, but I'll never know. Actually, it's not true. I have the analytics, so I know when someone unsubscribes. Appreciate you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.